Try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios.
Driven by General Tire.
It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Freak Nation, it's going to be a heck of a show tonight, and I'm going to do it from the tower at the starting line of Las Vegas drag strip, where we were hoping to have an NHRA Top Fuel winner, an NHRA Funny Car winner, and an NHRA Pro Stock winner join us tonight. But no, they moved the finals, the semifinal in the Funny Car race, and to the final of the Top Fuel class to tomorrow, and the 4 cars, 2 semifinal races of Funny Car class to tomorrow as well, 11 a.m. Pacific. Go to NHRA.com for more information. So I'm here at the tower, and I'm going to show you a video of where I am. I'm behind Race Central. I can see all the goings-on of what was happening earlier today when Sean Langdon and Doug Coletta's car had an issue, emptied about 5 or 6 quarts of about 140 weight lubricant on the track. And if you know anything about drag racing, when the viscosity gets up there, it's even tougher to get the oil, the lubricant off the track. And with the temperatures dropping, they said, nope, we're going to postpone this thing until tomorrow. More details coming out. But let's get to the story at hand, Freak Nation, with what happened in Martinsville. Crasher, Suave, Statman, you guys were more on this than I was. I had one eye on the drag strip and one eye on Martinsville the last 50 laps. Crasher, I think this is something that we expected. Maybe not necessarily these results with Christopher Bell being in. No, he's out. William Byron being out. No, he's in. But didn't we expect something like this to happen in Martinsville?
We expected excitement. We expected drama. And we weren't getting it for a while. It was halfway through stage 1. We were like, okay, we're following that cut line on who's going to make it to Phoenix, who's not. And that could get a little intense at times. And then stage 2 goes by and it's like, all right, we still have 200 laps plus to go in this race. And then it just was ho-hum. So yes, the last 50 laps, what you were fortunate enough to catch was where all the action was. That might be being a little generous. The last 20 laps was where all the action was, because finally we had people holding off others, allegedly. Hello, right. Chevy Camp. Holding off others, not allowing passes to happen in order to protect the manufacturer teammates. Yeah, a lot went down in the final 20 laps, especially in the last lap, which decided the fate of Christopher Bell and William Byron. Is what Christopher Bell did riding the wall, making that pass, and the pass was safe itself, but after the pass, riding the wall was unsafe conditions. That's a safety violation by NASCAR, because he can control where he hits the wall when he goes loose in the marbles after making a pass. The pass was already done. After making a pass, like he could control himself in the marbles. Oops, I had an opening where there was a safety gate. Oh man, if I only would have known, I would have pulled off the wall then. It's just, we have a few things to talk about. Let's put it that way.
Statman, Richard C. Suave, I know you've got an opinion on this. I've got an opinion as well that may not be very popular, Freak Nation. We've got a poll out there at Speed Freaks on X, where we're asking you a simple question there, Richard C. What is that?
I'm literally just asking who deserved to be in the championship for Christopher Bell or William Byron. And as of Sunday night, as we're doing the live radio show and watching us on YouTube, William Byron, 50%. Christopher Bell, 50%. Lots of replies out there too, which we can maybe get to in a little bit. But a lot of people in our replies are all basically saying the same thing, which is neither deserve to be into the championship four. A lot of Kyle Larson fans out there, a lot of people calling shenanigans on Team Chevy for helping William Byron and keeping him where he was so he didn't lose any points. So shenanigans galore.
So we got hundreds and
Let's
hundreds
definitely.
and it's at 50-50.
Yes, yes.
Man.
Let's break it down. The poll aside, there's a couple things going on here. There were a couple things that happened in the closing laps of the NASCAR cutoff race at Martinsville. Christopher Bell passed the 23, Bubba Wallace, with just 2 corners to go, passed him successfully, did hit the wall, though, post, and got loose in the marbles and rode the wall a little bit before coming to the finish line. But because of that pass, made his points dead even with William Byron when it came to the cutoff. So at the end of the race, Christopher Bell was +0. William Byron was -0. They were at a dead tie. The wins, the being able to go into Phoenix to become a part of the Final Four would have defaulted to Christopher Bell because of his overall race finishes this season. But there was a delay. And before the delay, we could go back to William Byron, who was loose as heck on horrible tires. And there were lots of Chevy cars gathering up behind him that were better. They weren't passing him. There's controversy, at least people want to see controversy, in that those cars were better than him. They were faster than him. Why weren't they passing him? They weren't passing him because, allegedly, they were pushing him, allowing him to keep those points. So regardless of what Christopher Bell did, he would get into the playoffs. So there's that angle. Then there's the whole, what else? Then there's the whole controversy before any of this happened of why didn't NASCAR throw the yellow flag right when Kyle Busch's tire came off on one of the final restarts? That also jacked with the order of the race, allowing Kyle Larson to lead the field to green the next time out. Mind blown right now. Mind blown. Yet NASCAR decides Christopher Bell was the one. He was the driver in fourth in the playoff points.
Okay.
He was the one moving on to Phoenix. NASCAR decided in their 27-minute meeting to take that away because allegedly he violated a safety. It was a safety violation that they put on him. Nothing that had to do with riding the wall, because there's no rule saying you can't ride the wall, believe it or not, even 2 years after Ross Chastain. This was a safety violation because apparently he rode the wall in an area where there was a crossover gate. And if that gate had been open, dang it, that would have been unsafe. Like he knew that. So they put him to the end of his line. He was a lap down. That made him lose 4 points. Boom, William Byron in a Chevy gets the fourth and final playoff position.
Stat man, you seem to be a little, I'm not going to say cynical on this decision, but you think there might be some underlying issues with possibly manufacturers why they decided to pull Christopher Bell. Am I assuming that?
That's a correct assumption. I think without question there was some hanky-panky going on in the background. 27 minutes to decide that a guy broke a rule. That's unheard of. Imagine if the referees at an NFL game would have taken 27 minutes to decide pass interference. They would have been booed out of the stadium. I think that the biggest issue is just take a step back. If it would have gone the way it ended at the end of the race, there would have been 2 Fords and 2 Toyotas in the Final Four. No Chevrolets, no Hendrick cars. And that's a problem for NASCAR. Apparently it's a problem. How do you have a Final Four without Hendrick representation or without Chevrolet representation? Now, I can get real cynical, about the whole thing. I would assume that in those 27 minutes, a lot of phone calls took place, back and forth between the officials at NASCAR, the officials at GM, and maybe the officials at Toyota, who said, "What are you doing?" And that's how the decision making happened for 27 minutes. Now, if that's not the case, which is entirely possible, I've been wrong once or twice in my life, but if that's not the case, then somebody's got to explain why it took 27 minutes to enforce a rule.
Absolutely.
Richie, we're going to have to break here in about a minute and a half. We can get into a little bit more in detail because I've got a different take on this. Richie, what's your take on what happened and why this happened?
It's just such a bad look for NASCAR, man. Like I tweeted out on my account at rflores91 on Twitter that it messes with the integrity of your sport, and you lose respect as a sport when you just make up calls willy-nilly like this, because that's exactly what they're doing. There was, like Crash mentioned, there is not any wording in the rule book that outlaws wall riding like Ross Chastain. They had to go find some obscure safety rule to try and come up with a reason for why they gave Christopher Bell a penalty, to which we still don't really know from NASCAR what it was. We just had to kind of assume it was to go to the tail end of his lap. He was a lap down. Christopher Bell talked about it. He's like, I don't even know how the hell did I lose 4 points here. He doesn't even know. So it's just atrocious. It makes NASCAR look stupid. I don't understand it. This is the one thing I hate about the FIA and F1 too, which is like, just let the guys race, dude. Don't go up in your ivory tower and decide a race and decide who's going to race for a championship.
But Richie, if they're breaking a rule, there's got to be checks and balances. Richie, wasn't there a Ross? Wasn't there a Ross Chastain rule that was established?
Not in the rule book. Nothing in the rule book.
It's not in the rule book. They told drivers that this will not be tolerated. This will not be allowed. You can say that, but it's not in the rule book. Wall riding is not a rule book illegality.
So if they would have given that to just look at the poll. It's 50-50. This is such a great decision. We got a break. This is so much fun. It's awesome. We got to break, Freak Nation. More with Christopher Bell and William Byron. Who's in, who's out, who shouldn't be in. Oh, my goodness. A Chevy's in there, damn it. Are you happy? More Freaks next.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add 1 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. 1 bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh cracked American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the second bite is like fresh cracked American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the third bite, you get the idea. The boss of breakfast burritos, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now. The
3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge-of-your-seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship Playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
This freaking segment is brought to you by our friends at Lucas Oil. Now, what automobile do you have in the garage? I bet Lucas Oil could keep that thing fat and happy and on the road. From everyday car care, heavy-duty trucking to agriculture, hot rods, classic cars, motorcycles, and marine, Lucas Oil has what you need to keep those engines, interiors, and exteriors looking like and running like they're supposed to be. For more information, go to the website, lucasoil.com, and find the perfect Lucas Oil product. Keep your rides on the road. Freak Nation, that ending of the Cup race at Martinsville was anticlimactic and climactic at the same time. There at the tail end, you saw two uncomfortable drivers with Christopher Bell and William Byron standing next to the car with a camera crew. Team members around the car, they just had their arms crossed doing this, waiting on the decision, evidently to Crasher's disagreement. 27 minutes to come to a decision on to yank Christopher Bell and insert William Byron, because the way they interpreted not necessarily a rule, but the way they interpreted what they told the drivers is you cannot ride the wall. Now, are you telling me, Crash and Richard C. Suave, even though these guys were saying you cannot ride the wall, there's not a rule in the rule book, but you cannot ride the wall, you still believe that Christopher Bell should still be in there even though he rode the wall somewhat?
You tell me that he rode the wall the same way that Ross Chastain rode the wall 2 years ago at Martinsville? Absolutely not. You cannot say that and have any sort of honesty in your eyes, because Ross Chastain hit the wall full throttle and then passed about 3 or 4 cars. I don't even remember how many he passed. Whereas in Christopher Bell's case, fast forward 2024, he had already passed Bubba Wallace, then goes to close the door on him so that he doesn't lose the position, gets loose in the marbles, then hits the wall. And then if you listen to his audio, his in-car audio, he's on and off the throttle, gets away from the wall, and then crosses the finish line. There's zero similarity besides tagging the wall in each case. One gains positions, Ross Chastain. The other one does not, Christopher Bell. There is no similarity here. Anybody trying to draw a line between these two, you dumbfound me. You don't really believe that, do you? Do you? Just because there's a little bit of a wall ride. So you're saying, okay.
Hey, are you going to let me respond, maybe?
So let's just say this then.
Jeez, man.
Anybody that makes a pass on track and then closes the door and oops, gets loose in the marbles and hits the wall, that's never allowed again? Because of what just happened to Christopher Bell? He freaking got loose. He was closing the door. Oops, hit the wall. He wasn't riding the wall to gain positions like Ross Chastain 2 years ago.
Can I speak? Evidently, I've got a lot of things in my mouth that I didn't know I did have. So my point is this. He rode the wall like Ross Chastain. No, he didn't ride the wall. He didn't ride the wall so intently to pass other cars. But if you're going to start pulling in the conspiracy theories when it comes to Chevys and blocking, you can go look at what Keselowski had to say. You could go back and look at what the conversation between Bubba Wallace and his crew chief. You can either listen or read between the lines. There may be a little bit of what's the word I'm looking here for? A little bit of code speak, because we know what it means. Look at what Statman said.
Hold on. Let's clarify. Kenny, let's clarify what you're saying. So first of all, you brought up Keselowski. So what is it that you want to reference? Keselowski
made reference to manufacturers helping each other on the track. Let's get back to single teams doing what they need to do for their team and not necessarily the manufacturers.
Got it. And then this whole thing with Bubba Wallace and his crew chief. What are you alluding to there?
If I'm alluded to, maybe there was some. Who used hanky panky? Statman, did you use hanky panky earlier? Maybe there was some hanky panky going on between the Toyotas. Was Bubba Wallace's rear tire really going down? Did anybody confirm that? Because evidently that's what the issue was.
Okay.
Did anybody confirm that?
I have not seen anyone with confirmation.
I just think if we're trying to be so cut and dry with a rule that's not a rule, but it's a rule because they said it's not a rule, but when they told them it's a rule.
Well, wait a minute. They did say they may not have had a rule to say this is the rule to deal with wall riding. What NASCAR is saying is that this is a safety issue, and they're going to cover it under the safety section of the rule book. And they're saying that it's not safe to do what he did. Now, obviously, he didn't ride the wall like Chastain did, but he did ride the wall. And if they're saying riding the wall is a safety issue, then that is against the rules that they've established, that they told the drivers would be the case. But I think the biggest issue in all of this is this 27 minutes. It's like the 18-minute gap in the Nixon tapes. Why? Why did it take 27 minutes to determine a rule that exists? All they had to do, either it's safe or it's not safe. And why it took 27 minutes to decide it's not safe is beyond me. And it opens the door for interpretation. And you can't involve interpretation if you're going to have FanDuel and all the other gambling issues out there as to who wins, who's out, who's lost, who won. You can't take 27 minutes to decide who won or who gets in and who gets out, especially when you have manufacturers that are spending maybe $150 million each on determining who gets in and who gets out. You can't go there with two Fords, Logano and Blaney, and two Toyotas, Reddick and Bell, and none of the Hendrick cars are there. When somebody stops and says, oops, let's figure out how we straighten this out.
See, I agree, but I agree with what Jeff Burton said. I don't care if it took 27 seconds or 27 minutes. The implications of these drivers making it into the playoffs or not making it in the playoffs is a huge deal. I had no problem with the 27 minutes, especially if there are other elements involved that they were looking at. It's not similar to if your toe is half in. No, I'm not done yet. I'm not. Look, it's not similar. If your one toe is on the field and one toe is is out of bounds when it comes to a certain reception, if it determined the game winner or not. That's apples to oranges to me. There's so many different factors in this. And if you want to say manufacturers making the decisions, well, what about Jerry Jones or Robert Kraft that's sitting up in the box going, you better get that call right because I want my damn team in there. So I had no problem with the 27 minutes.
Well, on one level, I don't have a problem with 27 minutes, but if you're going to, after 27 minutes, you're going to fall back on, we got a rule. Then why did it take you 27 minutes to say this rule applies to that violation and he's out of here? That should take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but 27 and then fall back on, we got a rule? That leaves too much interpretation.
Maybe Chevrolet was his long distance call and they need to put more quarters in the phone call. Your phone call is going to end in 60 seconds. Please deposit $2 more.
Check one or the other.
Remember those days? Wow.
Yeah.
I will say that they deemed this, like we said, there's no rule in the rule book against riding the wall, but they did say this is a safety violation. They also, I believe it was Elton Sawyer that went on to say that safety violations such as this will be made on a case-by-case basis. So there is their leeway for the 27 minutes. It was part of the case-by-case basis.
He did kind of make a comparison to safety violations because he was asked if Christopher Bell can appeal this. Christopher Bell cannot appeal this because it was like an in-race violation, right? And he compared it to something similar as a loose tire on pit road or a pit road violation that includes as part of their rules and safety. And so Christopher Bell can't appeal that. So, and there's two completely different things. It wasn't even close to being the same thing.
Right.
Make no sense, NASCAR.
But again, if it's an in-race violation and in-race violations cannot be appealed, how did Austin Dillon and RCR Racing get to appeal their in-race violation at the end of the regular season? Again, make it make sense, NASCAR. Nothing makes sense.
It takes severe stones to pull somebody out of the final four and to put somebody in there. There's so much going on here. For you to say to Toyota, Toyota, Tyler Reddick's already in there. We're pulling Christopher Bell, which, by the way, he was in the last three Final Fours, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you were watching the broadcast, you heard the discussion about no Hendricks in the Final Four. That's why we do this, because interpretation. My goodness.
But don't allow interpretation to give your sport a black eye. This is a black eye.
All right. We got a break. We'll hear from Melton Sawyer next. Speed Freaks Bits, Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Rev up your passion for speed. MAVTV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, MAVTV Go has something for everyone. MAVTV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh cracked American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the second bite is like fresh cracked American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the third bite, you get the idea. The boss of breakfast burritos, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
What's better than 1 win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get 1 line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
3 years of sellout crowds. 3 years of edge-of-your-seat action. 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR. And now, NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Freak Nation, this segment brought to you by, holy smokes. This segment brought to you by our good friends at General Tire. Go to generaltire.com to find the tire for your righteous ride. Richie, what the hell are you doing bringing that in right now, Skippy? Holy
there
smokes.
was some double audio and madness going on, bro.
I know. I didn't want you to bring it in just yet. I'm not set. Dang it. Anyway, I was trying to show you where the hell I was. I'm sitting at the top end of the tower, the NHRA.
Yeah, who made the right decision there.
Yeah. It's at the top end, or excuse me, at the starting line here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the drag strip, where we were supposed to have some finalists, or excuse me, some winners join us here on the show, but nope, postponed to tomorrow. And there is incredible video that I've got of Sean Langdon and Doug Coletta. Doug Coletta, the rear end of Doug Coletta's braking system explodes. Sean Langdon heads over towards the center line. His left rear tire explodes, sparks and fire and lions and tigers. Oh my. So we're going to get to that coming up. But I want to get to this conversation, back to this conversation. Elton Sawyer, who is the director of competition for NASCAR, again, did the right thing and showed him in front of the media at the Martinsville press room after the race, trying to explain their decision on why they yanked Christopher Bell in that Toyota out of the Final Four and inserted William Byron in a Chevy into the Final Four come Phoenix. Elton Sawyer explaining the penalty.
Yeah, Lee, we obviously we look at all the video, and as I back up on that, and you go back 2 years ago when we had the situation with Ross here, we went to Phoenix. There was a lot of dialogue with the drivers that that's not a move that we want to have to make on the last lap. We were able to get through Phoenix and had a great championship race that year. In the off-season, meeting with the industry, meeting with our drivers, and to a man, that was not a move that they want to have to make. So there was language in the rule book, and when you look at it today, he clearly got up against the fence there in 3 and 4 and rode the fence all the way, off 4 there. And that's strictly, to protect our drivers as well as our fans. So, yeah, that was pretty straightforward.
Again, he did not ride the wall all the way out of turn 4. There's another clear difference when you look at the two wall rides. Ross Chastain rode the wall almost half a lap. Christopher Bell rode the wall after he touched it and then got off it pretty quickly. I'd say maybe a 16th of a lap. It's just, again, those are just words. Those words don't equate to what happened on the track, Mr. Sawyer. Sorry.
And Richie, the soundbite with him talking about the intent doesn't matter to NASCAR, correct? Is that without?
Yeah, I thought this was a really interesting answer because I was curious about this, and we've been comparing it the whole time. Ross Chastain's move was 110% intentional. Mm-hmm. That's why we call it the Hail Melon, and that's what made it dangerous, and that's what made it an illegal move moving forward. Whereas this move by Christopher Bell, as Crash has been saying all show, and we've been saying all show, it was not super duper intentional. It was a racing issue where he got out of line. He got in the dirty area of the top of the racetrack, and he got into the wall, and he rode the wall, and it wasn't intentional.
Super duper intentional was like drifting, standing still.
Mm-hmm.
He can't ride the wall and not ride. If he hit the wall, he's got to come off of it. That's all NASCAR is saying, and far be it for me to stand up for NASCAR. But he's got to come off the wall. He wasn't hooked on some slot car track. He didn't have a chain that kept him up there. he stayed up there instead of steering off of it and coming off the wall.
He eventually came off of it, though.
Eventually,
he didn't gain any positions. He didn't stay up there for very long. His in-car shows him like this. So we can't put ourselves in the cockpit necessarily, but yeah.
Let's hear from Elton Sawyer talking about the intention behind this.
I'm not gonna speculate on what Christopher did or said what he meant to do. That wouldn't be, that wouldn't be fair to try to make that type of decision based off that. We looked at the data, we looked at video, and we've been very clear based off our conversations with our industry based off that move 2 years ago that would not be tolerated.
Listen, like this decision, what happened on the track is not black and white for me.
Kenny, can I ask you a question regarding this? Because I was thinking about this too, which is this is like reminds me of a television show where the writers are trying to come up with an ending to get people to tune in for the next race. In this case, is the championship race, right?
Cliffhanger.
Yeah. So is this the NASCAR version of a cliffhanger where they decided to put they got in their writer's room for 27 minutes and they said, it would be a great ending. We're just gonna make it up and we're just gonna throw something at a wall and we're gonna see if you tune in next week in Phoenix. That's exactly what this feels like to me. Does it not to you feel like it was like
it feels like it, but it feels like it, but I think it's awfully brazen for us to assume that something similar like that happened. Because if they would not have moved William Byron into the Final Four, the other 50% would be just as loud.
No, I don't believe so. Because of how, in my opinion, I don't believe so. Because of how what we were looking at the end of the race, it still showed Christopher Bell in the 4th position, William Byron in the 5th position, playoff points. We were all looking at that, staring at that for 27 minutes. We were basically saying that's what it is. If they would have kept it at that, I don't see the controversy happening. Well, the controversy in the fan base happening. The controversy with the manufacturers, that's another story. But no, I don't see it as being much more than just that. I don't think we'd even be talking about it. We're in our 3rd segment now of a 2-hour show. I don't think we'd still be talking about it. I don't. But the fact that it changed and a penalty was assessed and a safety violation was brought about when nobody knows what was truly unsafe, that's where this all went to hell in a handbasket.
Well, don't ride the freaking wall at 100 miles an hour. That's not safe.
Okay, so anytime you pass somebody, get in the marbles and hit the wall, you better come right off it, because if you don't come to a complete stop, then you're violating anything safety. Come on.
You back off the throttle. You back off the throttle, look in your rearview mirror. Can I come down the track and assimilate back into the traffic? That's what you do.
You back off your throttle, you lose the position that you just gained.
So don't use the wall.
Don't use the wall. Don't get caught in the marbles. Then nobody should be riding rubber tires. Then there should be no marbles, period. Come on.
But Bubba Wallace's tire was going down, Crasher. What was he supposed to do?
I have nothing for that one.
Hey, if there's no playoffs, then none of this happens at all. That's been a big talking point.
That
today
has
on the
been a
internet
big
today too.
Of which driver Brad Keselowski was one of them, right?
Yes, he was.
What bring up his tweet if you get a chance.
Here it is.
Something along. Okay, there we go. This would be the last straw on the camel's back for the playoffs in NASCAR.
Well, explain, but read the one below that.
Auto Racing Analytics said, this is a disaster, talking about all this post-race talk, taking forever. Nobody really knows who's in what position just yet. The key partner system is really the culprit of it all, meaning the manufacturers and manufacturers working together. How do we get it back to everyone racing just for themselves? And that's where Brad Keselowski, driver of the number 6, said this should be the last straw on the camel's back for the playoffs.
And one reason why he's bringing that up, and I don't know if we have that video, Richie, is you saw Ross Chastain, you saw Austin Dillon, and you saw William Byron. It looked like a fighter jet formation where they were protecting William Byron from Brad Keselowski and others to not take him out. I mean, listen, there was Austin Dillon behind him for freak's sake.
Hold on, wrong clip that we're watching here. Hopefully they'll go back.
I don't have it before, but
yeah.
Yeah, basically, William Byron in the 24 was on awful tires. He was sliding all up and down the track. And then in the last, I want to say 15 laps, I guess, the traffic built up behind him and never passed him, even though they were faster. Talking about Ross Chastain and Austin Dillon, and then others that came too as well. And because it was such a cluster, nobody could pass anybody. And they just rode along just like that for 15 some odd laps to the end, to the checkered flag. Yes, that is sus. That is absolutely suspect of some sort of a manipulation going on, which the actual words race manipulation are in the rule book against NASCAR's rules. So now what you going to do?
We got about 45 seconds, stat man, but you know what? Just when we thought that manufacturer battles were dead, this proves to us it's not.
Yeah, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, like one of the people said there, you can't have a NASCAR championship without a Chevrolet. You can't have 2 Fords and 2 Toyotas. I saw that immediately and said, ooh, there's a problem here.
Yep.
27 minutes later, it was solved.
Freak Nation, coming up next, your Statman Scat. Why aren't they bringing in different tires like Formula One and IndyCar for NASCAR? And we'll also hear from Tyler Reddick. All coming up. Speed Freaks Pit and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh cracked American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the second bite is like fresh cracked American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the third bite, you get the idea. The boss of breakfast burritos, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
What's better than 1 win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get 1 line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for a professional detail or shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Rev up your passion for speed. MAVTV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, MAVTV Go has something for everyone. MAVTV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge-of-your-seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship Playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive styling. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Your Statman Scat, brought to you by STEM Stories. When racing goes to school and grows up, by Bill Wood, a.k.a. Statman. Now look, motorsports are at a crossroads, and out of the cloudy future, however, comes STEM education. Motorsports are the perfect vehicle to teach science, technology, engineering, and math to the next generation of racing fans. Get a copy of STEM Stories now at Amazon.com.
Some thoughts this week, like in NASCAR at the Cup level. Why not let Goodyear bring more than one set of tires for racing? That would introduce strategy into the mix. We're told there was a soft tire at Martinsville Sunday. What if there was a soft, medium, and hard tire, forcing crew chiefs to go to another level of planning for a given race? And I know there are many reasons to dislike race steward decisions, but what if they were watching Cup races and throwing the flag when rules are broken? Drivers and teams recover from drive-through penalties all the time. But what if time penalties were added to a result? That would force drivers to pay more attention to each other and their own racecraft. And finally, wildcard entries into the playoffs have engaged fans in stick and ball sports. Why not a wildcard team in the Cup playoffs? The natural wildcard would be the driver with the most wins that's not already eligible for the next round of the playoffs. That would be Kyle Larson in the last couple of races. Weird, I know, but what's not weird about the current format? What could be more flexible than the rubber rules already in place? Peace.
Well, Statman dropping it out there with reference to different tire compounds for NASCAR, and why not a wild card into the wild card for the NASCAR playoffs? Statman, I'm a little surprised to hear your suggestion that they should implement a wild card into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's just, some thoughts. I don't know they necessarily should do it, but, if you want to win, if you want to emphasize winning, then that's a way to emphasize winning. And you got to win to get in, and the more you win during the year, you got a better chance to get in to the playoffs.
Crash, Richie, Statman, help me out with this decision, or not decision, with an explanation here. When did IndyCar start implementing different compounds into a race where you could choose? And when did Formula One start implementing different compounds into racing?
IndyCar's been at least 10 years, I believe. The soft and hard, the red sidewalls, the black sidewalls. Then they had a couple of races, I believe, with green sidewalls this year. And real quick, back to NASCAR. Richie and I were talking during the scat that NASCAR has done that twice. They've done it at their all-star race, and at Richmond was the other race where they brought different compounds. I don't remember why that was technically a failure in some eyes, because I agree, this needs to be a necessity. It just throws another wrench in engineering-wise and driver-wise. I think absolutely it should be something that's mandatory in all racing. But IndyCar's done it for at least 10 years. Formula One, I'm not 100% sure.
And I think in NASCAR, it would really help because right now, if there's a yellow flag, everybody dumps into the pits.
Right.
Everybody pits at the same time. The teams pit at the same time. But if somebody's on a harder tire than the competition, then they could run longer, and that just brings another level of strategy into what the crew chiefs have to do to get through a race. They just say, well, he pitted, so I'm going to pit.
Exactly.
I'll be out there and
Mm-hmm.
I'll be closing laps. I mean, a half-mile track, a 20-second pit stop might be a full lap.
Yeah, just to simplify it, in IndyCar, the red tires have the softer, or the red sidewalls have the softer tire compound. And in essence, you get a lot of grip right out of the gate, out of the pits. You have the first few laps out of the pits are super fast. You're just lightning right at that point, but they wear away quicker as well. Whereas the harder compounds, the black sidewalls, they have a lot more endurance to them, but you're not going to have those super fast laps right out of the pits with almost instant grip that you can guarantee that you can rely on. So those are the differences. And yeah, you
to heat up and to get
exactly. And so, yeah, it brings the engineers into how are we going to balance this race and how are we going to adjust our pit windows because of taking certain tires at certain times.
Freak Nation, coming up next hour, we're going to hear from Jack Beckman, who will be running on Monday. Depending on when you're watching this, running on Monday or running today in Las Vegas as the as the semifinals for the funny car race were postponed until Monday due to track conditions. And the same for the finals for Top Fuel will be running on Monday. And we'll get to that and why that happened and some fantastic videos showing you why that happened coming up in the show. Also, we're going to hear from Tyler Reddick, your winner from Homestead last week, and he's going to be joining us here in the Freak Nation. Christopher Bell, again, he was in the playoffs, then he's out of the playoffs due to the decision with NASCAR. Is he bitter?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. It just wasn't meant to be, and I'm proud of the successes that we've had in 2024. It's a bummer to not go to Phoenix because obviously that's a track we're really good at. But thankfully, I got a couple more years on my contract, so I'll get another shot at it.
Well, the cool thing about that, I will say, great video going around on social media that I'm pretty sure I retweeted at Speed Freaks on Twitter. They went up to each other, Christopher Bell and William Byron, afterwards, and they talked things out, and Bell congratulated him and whatnot, and it was really, really cool and really sportsmanlike, which I did not expect to see. But shout out for Christopher Bell for being such a sportsman about the whole thing.
Wait a minute, unlike the Xfinity race on Saturday where there were like slaps heard around the world.
We may get to that next hour.
Gosh.
If you watch Christopher Bell, all he does is back up my argument. And during our text thread during the race, I was watching Christopher Bell that post-race, and he had that guilty face, like, well, I think I rolled the wall. I think I rolled the damn wall. I'm sitting here hoping that I didn't ride the wall. And he didn't bitch and moan at all about it. He says, I'm not bitter. Not at all. But William Byron basically said that was a flagrant misuse of the rule. He didn't say it like that.
No.
But he did say that, yeah, what Christopher Bell did was something that asked NASCAR asked us not to do. William Byron talking about what's this sound about with William Byron, Richie?
He said he's having a hard time being happy about the way he got into the Final Four.
All right.
I have a hard time feeling happy in this situation. We just raced as hard as we could and race within the rules and everything like that. So it is what it is at that point. We're tied on points and like I said, the wall ride is what it is. So just had to fight through that and just I don't know, glad to race for a championship, that's for sure. I've never been through anything like that, so definitely some trauma from that for sure, because I usually get to go home by now, so don't really know what to think about all that, but thankful that NASCAR looked at it, that they they have rules in place, and that's what it is.
You showed some personality there, Kenny. How about that?
Got above 4 decibels. Is there any, I haven't checked on this, is there any hate headed towards his way? I mean, are people, because we've talked about the lack of personality with William Byron. I mean, if he was saying, yeah, Christopher Bell sucks, or Christopher Bell, yeah, you're right, man, but he didn't do any of that.
No, I've seen a lot of people on social media saying, hey, William Byron is just arguably an innocent bystander in this because he himself didn't do anything wrong. Did fellow Chevy drivers manipulate this finish? Potentially. But William Byron himself did not do anything wrong.
I'm just picturing if Lando Norris had this same situation happen to him, how much he would be bitching about the entire situation. And these two guys couldn't have handled it any better. Any better.
That's true.
Well, look what I don't.
Yeah, we got to go. We're going to go on a break here in a minute.
No Max Verstappen, Lando Norris comparisons.
I will say this: staying in Las Vegas, I did intentionally drive the strip yesterday to see the setup for the Formula One race, and comparing it to how Long Beach comes about before race weekend versus Formula One. I mean, I know the race is 19, 18 days away, depending on when this is airing. They got some scaffolding and some stands, but man, they're going to have to throttle to get this thing ready. Freak Nation, Tyler Reddick, Jack Beckman, and your winner, Ryan Blaney. Big second hour of the Freaks. Coming up, Speed Freaks Pits and Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh cracked American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the second bite is like fresh cracked American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the third bite, you get the idea. The boss of breakfast burritos, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
3 years of sellout crowds. 3 years of edge-of-your-seat action. 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR. And now, NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship playoffs are coming. Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Go to WWTRaceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
What's better than 1 win? 3 wins? With straight savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio Redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Freak Nation, second hour of the Freaks. Coming up, we're going to hear from Jack Beckman, who is in the semifinals for the NHRA at Las Vegas, which again will be running today, Monday, because they were postponed due to, let me just show you a little bit of video of why they postponed this race. Now, where the heck did I put that thing? There she is. Boom. Over here. Hold on just a second. Let's do this. No, could you guys hear the video at all? Richie, go ahead, buddy.
No, I could not hear it. It was very low.
Yeah, I've got two versions of it. I've got one with full audio and one not full audio. Let's do this, Freak Nation. Let's go low audio and play it here. All right. So this is what caused the delay at Las Vegas for the drags. Sean Langdon, Doug Coletta running in the semifinals to make it to the finals. And watch Sean Langdon after what happens with Doug Coletta. Doug Coletta's not real easy to, you guys losing me? You got it? Doug Coletta busts a brake seal, causes him to spin out, dumps quarts of heavyweight oil on the track. But Sean Langdon, when he loses the tire, this is where it goes bananas. It's awesome.
That's bananas.
Isn't it?
A-N-A-N-A-S.
Right. Hey, Glenn.
It's bananas.
Yeah, we're watching a bananas drag race.
Richie, go ahead and take it from here.
Sean off the line first. Doug smokes the tires. Hang on, Sean. Over to the center line. Did he get it? Oh, Sean Langdon lost a tire. Sean Langdon lost the tire. He went 368. I do not know if he got the center line before the stripe. It looks like he might have from where I'm at. And Sean Langdon just did a hero's job of keeping that race car off the wall on the top end. 368, 330 if it counts for Langdon. But I'm looking down there, and I do believe I see blocks have gone flying. And Sean Langdon is missing a tire on the back of that Coletta Air machine. Look at Langdon's car, spins the tires, moves left, gets over towards the center line, and gets the blocks. And the debris is what's going to shred that tire. He went over the blocks with the front of the car, threw them both under the rear tire, probably parts and pieces off the body as well, and it shredded that Goodyear. And Sean Langdon does a fantastic job right here of keeping the car off the wall. I mean, he's fighting that thing to the left. He's hard on the brakes. He's got it sliding. Just don't hit the wall. Sean Langdon's thinking.
The sportsmen eliminate the beginning elimination rounds to be delayed well into the night. One of our good friends, Maddie Gordon, I think I saw her posting still on social media around 10 p.m., 11 p.m. So, yeah, lots of oil downs and just wacky blow-ups in Las Vegas this weekend for the NHRA penultimate round. Statman, I don't understand what's going on because this also follows an oil down in Brainerd in August, I believe. And this stuff hasn't really happened much the last 20 years. I don't understand why now in 2024, we're seeing oil downs and lengthy track delays. Again, something we thought was in our rearview mirror.
Well, technology saves some of it. Heavy penalties forced the crew chiefs to pull back a little bit on stressing the engines so they wouldn't blow up. The teams are getting better. You don't get some of the sportsman guys who want to step up in class for the rare race, and they're just overwhelmed and the engines blow up. But the regular people that are on the weekly run of NHRA, they get heavy fines and penalties and points taken away if that happens. So yes, there are fewer. And this one today, we're getting towards the end of the season, and guys are looking for points and figuring out where they want to end up for to ask sponsors for money next year. So yeah, this might have been a freak thing today, but it is happening less than what it used to.
Kenny, are you out there as part of the safety safari? Are you going to try to scrape the track?
Yeah, can you see it? Can you see it from my perspective here?
Yes.
All right. Again, my apologies. The computer just during the show, but the video that I was showing was Doug Coletta and Langdon going at it for the semifinal run, and Doug Coletta loses a brake seal, and it's a spec part that all the rails have on, and it blows apart. If you dissect the video, you could see it come up, but that really wasn't the visual that was so attractive. It was actually Sean Langdon when he lost the tire. But with Doug Coletta, when he lost that brake seal, it spewed. I was told it's about 100. The viscosity, you know this, stat man. If it's a 140 weight, it is so thick that it littered the track, and you really can't see it. Well, yeah, you can. You kind of see where they had to go down and actually scrape a portion of the track about 500 feet of the track, scrape it. And they said, you know what? It's getting too chilly out here on the track. We got to move this thing to tomorrow. We have so much work we need to do, to Monday, that we don't want to chance it with these nitro cars. The track was getting down into the 60s. So they said, sorry, man, we got to move this thing to tomorrow.
And Kenny, colder weather would also make the oil even heavier and thicker and make it even more difficult to get it off the track. And the track is not a smooth thing, so it would seep into the pebbles and the uneven surface.
Yeah.
So it would be almost impossible to get the oil out of the track if it's that heavy and it's that cold.
And if you follow drag racing, you know all about see the black on the track? That's rubber, and that's a compound that they put down on the track. They had to peel that up. I mean, that could be anywhere from a half an inch to an inch to 2 inches thick. So they had to peel some of that up. And I was also told, and I was reminded with the Summit Racing Series, this is their championship here. And they didn't, even though these were stock cars that were going down the track, they didn't want their championship being determined because of some faulty error on the track. But here's one for you. This is one thing I went, well, dude, you got 4 freaking lanes here, right?
True.
Right? So there's
why not just go over to the other 2?
Yeah, just switch over there, bro. See, the Christmas tree is there. I'm probably going to get busted for me being out here, but we may be off the air for another 6 months because I'm down here showing proprietary information. But I thought, bro, you got 2 other lanes. Just move the crap over there. But here's a great comparison. I don't think I'm going to be divulging too much here. Look at the color of the track. This is the green track. Okay, see that? Now look at that. Look at the comparison. How dark they are.
Yep.
See the rubber and the compound versus this.
Plus, you have a TV camera on that track right there that you'd have to remove, and those are heavy.
Richie, be sure to watch the time. You have to start that break, my man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm on top of
it. A little bit. We got about a what time? How much time?
2.5 minutes. Got about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So I hope that I can get my computer up and running in time. And I thought, wow, what a great time for me to go down to the track and show you what the issue was. But was the video able to play with Sean Langdon's tire exploding and
we saw it. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So that's what the issue was. Now they've got the finals for Top Fuel, semifinals for Funny Car,
and semifinals for Pro Stock, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We still have a lot of racing left.
Tomorrow, I would imagine that on a few minutes notice, it would take more than possible to get it all up to speed, get the timing things worked out, get all of that. Plus, like you said, the competition would be different because they haven't had 3 days of rubber on the track. So, yeah.
Yeah, if you guys could see, I don't know if you can see how watery my nose is. I got my hands in my pocket. I'm freezing balls out here.
When you said the track temp is in the 60s, that's very telling. We are not used to those temperatures throughout the season. So, yeah, it's cold where you are in Vegas. You need to warm up at the casinos when we're done with this show.
I think Statman, every time we talk, if you can you see the flags up there? That's their headwind.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wow.
Look at that. And I think we've heard from Angel and a number of drivers talking about going by the stands down there. Once they get past the stands, sometimes that crosswind can really shake.
Yep, especially at Vegas. Oh, and now his phone cuts off. If it's not Kenny's computer, it's his phone.
Oh, Larry, wait, he's back.
I'm back. All right, Richie, you go ahead and take it from here, my man. I'm going to go back upstairs to see if I can get the computer running.
Oh, my God.
All right. Thank you, Steve Kornacki, for that great report from the big board that is Las Vegas Motor Speedway drag strip. Great stuff.
Find a green screen somewhere and we could put him in the middle of a tornado or something.
Oh, no. Twisters by Kenny Sargent.
Allegedly, we